Radinn was one of the first companies that introduced an electric jetboard to the market. Now, many years later, they are finally launching several new models, and we are excited to meet the Radinn team to see a live demonstration of the new boards.
That our CEO has been ripping and riding, so we're going to use those to have a look at them today.
Wow, looks amazing in a private pool with flamingo.
Yeah, so I thought that would be a nice location for our talk today.
Yes, perfect. So, hi Fredrik, hi Alexander, it's a pleasure having you on our show. As you know, I was one of the first customers of Radinn many years ago. So I'm excited to meet you, to talk to you once again. And you've been in business for so long, I think since 2013, so it's more than 7 years. So tell me why you decided to get started with Jetboard in Sweden.
I mean, jetboarding in Sweden, it sounds like a super crazy idea, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it's the last thing you think about Sweden. You think about polar bears and penguins, no? But actually, it started as a school project. So at the Lund University, which is one of the biggest universities in Sweden, it started as a school project. So they did the first prototype as part of the project. And after that, that project evolved into the first iteration, which was the wake jet. And the school project is, you know, it's fun and games. It's young, eager people who are tinkering with batteries and tinkering with jet engines. And basically just trying to get the board to run on the water and see if you can stand on it. So I think it started like a super enthusiast project. You know? Alexander Lind, who is not with us today, he was the one doing the school project. And I know he loves waking, he loves skating and everything. And he's actually grown up by a beautiful, in a beautiful country place in Stockholm and has water right outside of his house. So it started like a school project and him just loving it and playing with it at his parents' place, actually.
I see. Yeah, as we know, electricity and salty water are not best friends. So I see a lot of companies trying to do a jetboard and then they fail. So what are the main challenges when it comes down to making a jetboard, especially electric?
I mean, I think you're pinpointing the issues here, you know? Everyone that I meet, they're thinking, okay, electricity, high amps, water, salt, So I think in the beginning, of course, that was a big issue, but we worked a lot with that. So right now, I think the major issues for us is try to get the weight down. To make the product more accessible, so you can bring it. You don't need to have a house or a boat, but you can actually bring it with you in your car and it doesn't, so we can open up the market a little bit and the product is more accessible to more people. So I think we have moved a little bit from the challenge of holy smoke, how do we get this to work in the water, to actually mastering that a little bit and trying to make the board more part of a normal lifestyle. So I think the big challenge for us is to get it a little bit smaller, also less expensive, and to make it part of your normal life.
Perfect. So like you mentioned, Radinn was always criticized for being too heavy. Like everybody's saying it's too heavy. And what part of the board making is so heavy? Is it the battery or the hull, the jet?
When we talk about our jetboard, actually Radinn's jetboard, as you know, is fully modular. And when I say modular, I don't mean that you can replace the battery. It's too easy. Huh? So basically what you can do is you can take the jetpack, as we call it, which is the engine. That is fully isolated and it's a unit by itself. So in 2 minutes, you can take that from one board and you can put it into another board. So the 3 different units that we have also have weight. Our old board, which was the G2X, that the weight of that was about 16 or 17 kilos. The weight of the Carve that we have today, actually I put it on the scale before we talked today, and it weighed 8.0 kilos. So we have moved a lot in the board weight of that, you know. So we are trying everything to get the weight down as much as we can, you know. But at the same time, we don't want to make the battery too small, because we also see that the usage is that you typically carry the board under the arm, or you put it in a bag, or the new board, you will actually be able to put it on your back. And then you carry the battery in your hand. So we are trying to get the weight down on the jetpack and on the board as much as we can. We're just pushing that limit as hard as we can. But for the batteries, we're trying to maintain a decently big battery so that you can have some nice ride time on it as well.
I see. So for many years you've been offering WakeJet Cruise only one model, but finally this year I'm super excited to see you're offering like 3 new shapes and a lot of colors. I lost the track of how many models now you have. Freeride, Carve. Can you quickly cover the differences in specs?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like I said before, we want to be more accessible to more people. We want more people to try jetboarding. And we identified, of course, a few different user scenarios or user groups that we believe in. We're from Sweden. So in Sweden, there's no bad weather, only bad clothes. So actually it started off of doing different winter kind of adventures. I don't know if you saw, but we were in Norway last autumn and we were riding some glaciers. It was fantastic. So we always had a love for being able to use the board, not only in the Caribbean or on a nice beach. We want to take that we want to take it out into rough environments. It could be rocky cliffs, it could be rivers. So the Explore board, it has a much more durable undercoating. It has a protective bumper around it and it's abusable. You can kind of drag it into the water. You can lay it on a little bit of the asphalt. It takes a lot of beating that board. So the user scenario for that board is, of course, more rough scenarios. It could also be a rental scenario where you want the board to last a little bit longer. You know? It could also be a winter scenario where you're actually riding where it's half ice. So Explore is more of a rough board. It's not focused on turning and agility. It's focusing on discovering things. Freeride is a little bit smaller than Explore. So in a body size, it's slightly smaller, but it's also made from the same materials as typical surfboards are made from. So we're going away from the more plastic material and moving into the same material as the typical surfboards have. That board is more agile. You can definitely turn it way better. And it's also 3 or 4 kilos lighter than the Explore board. But we also know that some people, they like to ride without bindings. It's more free, you don't have anything stuck to your feet, it's a way of discovering rivers and stuff like that. So for the people that want a board that turns, but maybe they don't want to use bindings, then Freeride is the middle ground between having a more agile board like Carve or the more durable board like Explore. Then we have Carve. Carve is way smaller. You will see when we look at the boards. The volume is way smaller. You ride it with bindings and you ride it in a more of a carving, jet surfing kind of style. You know? That board is definitely a little bit harder to master and it's definitely an upgrade board or is for the ones that want a more sporty approach to it. You want to challenge yourself, you want to jump, you want to push it to the limit, you know? Then Carve is great for that. So Explore, durable, adventures, abuse it. Freeride in between is good for everything. Nice to turn, you don't have to use bindings. And then Carve if you just want the ultimate agility and want to use bindings.
All right, so discussing the differences of this model, do they have the same weight or the Carve is actually lighter board? I see it's more narrow.
Yep. So the differences in the board, Carve weighs 8 kilos, Freeride weighs around 11 to 12 kilos, depending a little bit on what handles you have on it, etc. And then Explore weighs 17 kilos. So yes, there is a weight difference in the boards for sure.
All right, but the jet system is similar. It's interchangeable, right?
The jet system is exactly the same, yes. So it's interchangeable, yes.
And the battery?
The batteries are interchangeable, yes. There is also on the batteries, we are also now shipping the batteries with the possibility to add bindings to it, so that you can have the front binding on the battery. But again, the batteries can be interchanged and be used in the different boards.
All right. So let's see the boards closer so we can...
We want to see the boards, right? Now we have a little bit of my CEO's decoration here. So let's remove those first. So this is our new board, you know? This is what we call the Freeride. You like the shape of it?
Yeah, the palms look stable. Good buoyancy.
Fantastic buoyancy, you know? And here is the little bit more agile Pelican ride.
Yeah, vibrant colors. Very nice.
It's my CEO's favorite color. He loves that one. So let's have a look at them. First, we have the model that is Explore. There is also one big change. We also upgraded the jetpack. So for 2020, the jetpack is generation 3. So it's a little bit more power in it, and there's definitely better acceleration and torque in the jetpacks. So every board sold since April has a jetpack that is a little bit more torquey and has a little bit more power. And these are real life boards, no demo boards. And actually, Matthias, my boss, was out riding them this morning, so they're still a little bit sandy here. So here we have Martin. Martin, can you help me with the camera a little bit? 1 second, I'll get some help from my colleague here so I can be in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have our Explore board. This is our remote control, hand control as we call it. This one here goes around your hand like this. You keep it like this. You press on it. The LEDs, when the LEDs are blinking, it means you're not connected to the board. What you do then is you take your leash, put it around your foot, put it on. And when the board is connected, it's live. The remote controls, the batteries, the leash, it's the same leash battery that can be used on all of the different boards. So let's move to the other one. So here we have the Freeride board. This is the Urban Rebel color, which is a matte gray color. It has a little bit different deck pad on it. As you can see, the leash is the same. Put it on. You have the same remote control. It's connected in the same way. This board, different material, slightly different body to it, different styling on it, a little bit different styling in the front on it. Beautiful board, actually. If my boss was nice enough to give me one, I'll take this one for sure. Maybe the pink one over there as well is nice. Then we have our smaller board. So here's the beauty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And the weight of this one is completely different than the other boards. The material, super nice finish to it. Styling wise, slightly matte, a little bit gray feeling. Actually 3 tones to it. Different handles to it. Bindings on it. Bindings on the front on it. Doesn't matter if you're regular or goofy, there is bindings, or you can set up the bindings in any way you want. You can use different kind of bindings on it, and we're using a standard fitting for the bindings. The deck pad in the back is a little bit different. But again, you can actually use the same leash and the same remote for this one. And size-wise, if we compare them, you can get a really good feel for the size of them.
So you're using FCS 2 fins, right?
Exactly. It's a standard fitting for those fins. And you can use the same fins on all 3 boards. Like that. And then you take them out like this. And it's the same fins you can put on this board. If you come a little bit closer, you can really see. So you really can get a good look at it, no?
Yeah.
I guess that people are most interested in this model, right?
I think the smallest one that's good for carving is probably most interesting. Yeah. At least for people who already have experience with jetboarding.
Exactly.
So let's see how you open the battery. It's very interesting how you set it up. The battery is attached to the bindings, right?
Yeah. Hold on a second. So, batteries not to be changed in the water. So give me a second, I'll take the board up. To open the battery, basically, you turn the locker like this, like that, like this. Take it out of the board. On the Tarifa board, open it, same. If I wanted to, I can take the other battery, of course, and I can fit it into this one. There is a little reassuring click when you put on the button. Same here. And now you can see that I didn't mount the bindings on this one. You can see that there are holes to mount bindings on this battery as well if I want to. And if you don't want to ride with the bindings on it, it's fine to just stand on the deck pad anyway.
So what is the riding time do you get with those boards?
I mean, riding time is always a little bit difficult, but actually we get a good solid 45 minutes riding time. Yesterday we had a company event actually, and the boards were out for an hour. So if you have a rider that falls off a little bit, and you ride a little bit, and you fall off a little bit, etc., you typically get about an hour's worth of battery life. If you actually ride by yourself and have a good time on it, you get 45 minutes on it. If you push the throttle to the bottom and just go full speed the whole time and never turn, never do anything, I think maybe you're getting down to 35 minutes of battery.
So, and all of 3 models have same riding time, or it depends?
If you really want to be a little bit scientific about it, since the Explore board has a durable undercoating, there's a little more friction of that board in the water. So that board actually goes a little bit slower with the same jetpack and actually uses slightly more batteries, but we're talking minutes. Freeride, which is the other model, it is smooth underneath and has a lot of buoyancy. So actually the battery lasts a little bit longer in that one, but just a little bit. And then Carve, since you're carving more deep in the board and it's a smaller board, then the batteries doesn't last as long in Carve. But we're talking about a few minutes difference. So actually the battery time is about the same for the boards.
Very good. And the charging time?
We have one overnight charger and we have one speed charger. The overnight charger, I would say, is 5-6 hours, and you typically put it on when you go to sleep and you're ready to go in the morning. With the speed charger, actually 80% of our customers, they purchase the speed charger. With that, it's about 2.5 hours to 3 hours of charging time. And that is from 0% to full.
So looks very interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see that you're finally offering the new models. And a few years ago, we had an interview with Alexander Lind, and he also mentioned Efoils. Do you have still plans for Efoils or not really?
No, I mean, we have gone a little bit different way with our boards, you know. And actually, in one of the questions I got from you, you were thinking, where is the sport going? You know?
Yes,
And, it was a good question. And actually, me and my colleagues here, we had a little bit of a discussion. Like, is it sport? Yeah, maybe it's sport. Is it just fun and having a great time, just goofing around in the water? Also. Is it adventure and exploring? Also. So it's a little bit different, the approach to it. But we feel that with the boards that we have, we're covering a little bit of the adventure side. With Carve, we're covering the sports side. And with Freeride, we're covering like a little bit of everything. And there is some companies doing foils very well. So the future of Radinn is going to stay on the water and continue to develop different kinds of boards without foils.
Very good. Yeah, it's good to specialize on something you really excel at. Yeah.
We went from 1 model to 6. So I think I'm super happy with the range that we have now. And I think the future for us is to let the range spread more. So the durable board will be more durable. Freeride will be more for everything, and Carve will be more extreme going forward.
And now, in the past, you were specializing selling mostly to the yacht owners, but now you have more people who can afford the board because I think it became cheaper also, right?
Yeah, man, that's one of the things we really worked hard on, is actually to get the price down so that normal people can actually purchase a board and don't have to be a billionaire or have a yacht for it. So yes, we're definitely moving. Everyone in this business, of course, have yacht owners as clients. And we love our yacht owners, and I think the product is perfect for that. But with Carve and Freeride, we're also opening up a bigger market, hopefully.
Perfect. So the last question is how the coronavirus influenced your shipping production. What's your plan for the end of summer, for the end of season, and the shipping time?
I mean, of course, Corona has been a tough time for everyone, and it's been a tough time in Sweden as well. And it definitely meant that life could not continue as normal in the office. But as you might know, then in Sweden we had a slightly different approach, which meant that it was not mandatory to stay home in Sweden. So actually at Radinn, we can continue to produce and develop the boards during this time, which was fantastic for us. So of course, Corona has affected us, but it has not affected us to the degree that we had to stop continuing the development of the board. So we've been delivering boards the whole time during this time. And actually, we've been selling great during this time as well. So for us, Corona, of course, has meant that it's been more difficult, but we have also been able to proceed with normal work in Radinn during this time. That means that if you buy a Carve today, we can deliver that Carve second week of July. So we typically now have 3 weeks of a delivery time.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for showing us the boards. I think everybody was interested to see them in real time. And it's really cool to see real boards, not just demos, how they work, how they perform.
I mean, I heard some rumors that you're not too fond of seeing demo boards. So I really tried today. I kidnapped my CEO's personal boards to be able to show you real live boards today.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Fredrik.
Thank you.
All right. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, you too.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My name is Macarena. I'm from Madrid. I can consider myself a kite surfer. This is the accelerator?
It is.
Okay.
Let's give it a try then.
Let's see. It's incredible. It's very nice, very nice. Super fun. Lots of fun. Thank you very much for the try.
I'm going to try to ride with the dog.
Fucking amazing.
It's really powerful.
La sensación muy bien. Muy guay.
Amazing.
Makes time faster. Definitely recommend it.